Okay, welcome to this next video, and we're looking at cost leadership and differentiation. This is something which we've been spending quite a lot of time on already, but I just want to go over some of the key points again. And I think we need to look at this sustained competitive advantage. Now, the two most prominent sources of competitive advantage to a business are, well, first of all, it's your cost structure, absolutely essential, and its ability to differentiate the business from its competitors. Now, businesses that have one or more sources or capabilities that actually let them operate at a lower price will consistently outperform their rivals that don't. We've been talking about actually what cost leadership is, and if you remember, it's a concept developed by Michael Porter, and it's used in business strategy, and it describes a way to establish the competitive advantage. So in basic words, we're looking at the definition of being something like the lowest cost of operation in the business. The cost leadership is often driven by company efficiency, scale, scope, and a cumulative experience. But sometimes an organisation could be the lowest cost producer, yet it wouldn't necessarily offer the lowest priced products or services. And you might actually think, well, why wouldn't they do it? And what would the benefits be for them not actually doing it? And I think sometimes it's because they can sell the products really well, and on the current costs they actually have a higher than average profitability. But of course they would still be looking at competing on the price. Turning into the cost leadership, well, cost leadership does work well if you actually have a relatively standardized product, and if it actually then has features acceptable to many customers at the lowest competitive price. So things which are the same, which the facilities, the functions it has, is something which most people want, and you can sell it at the lowest possible price. So an integrated set of actions taken to produce goods or services with features that are acceptable to customers at the lowest cost, relative to that of competitors with features that are acceptable to customers. So a standardized product, acceptable to the majority, and competitive. Of course, then if we go on to look at success, business success is built on cost leadership, requires the business to be able to provide its product or service at a cost below what its competitors can achieve. Because after all, you can't be a cost leader if your competitor can sell the item cheaper than you. So if we think about cost leadership and actually some of the cost saving actions required by the strategy, we might think about the efficient scale, actually building efficient scale facilities. If you're actually going to be selling a lot of something, are you geared up to actually produce on that basis? To actually make sure this whole business of control, you're tightly controlling the production costs, you're tightly controlling all the overheads. It's obviously really important to actually minimise the costs of the sale, and actually to minimise the research and development and the service you're providing. After all, you're the cost leader, you're not actually giving them the top service in the world. I think it's absolutely essential that you're actually building efficient manufacturing facilities, and that you do actually monitor the cost of all the activities provided by the outsiders. And finally, with all of those, it's really important that you actually have processes which are simplified as much as possible. There are some value creating activities for cost leadership, and again it's really important that these are actually carried out at the lowest price, lowest cost possible to you. And you think first of all about a cost effective management information system and a simplified way of planning. The need to actually have consistent policies and effective training which actually works. Your manufacturing technologies you have should actually be easy to use, and you need to actually make sure that your procurement are actually looking to find the lowest cost raw materials possible. You do need to monitor your suppliers' performances. Are they up to spec? Are they up to scratch? What's going to happen if they're not? And of course, the more items you're selling, you're looking more into the economies of scale. So you actually need to make sure you've got the efficient scale facilities. Do you have effective delivery schedules? Can they work? Do they work? Needing to make sure you've actually got low cost transportation. Making sure that your sales force is highly trained. It's alright having this most wonderful product, but if your sales force aren't actually selling it, you're not going to do very well. And then to actually look at the proper pricing to make sure things are priced in the most effective way. Okay, we're going to look again in the next video at some actual strategies of cost leadership.